Hello my dear friends. Till now we have discussed that how we can create our model layer in our Spring Boot application, and we have also discussed about the creation of a DAO layer or an repository layer, and in our previous video we have discussed about a service layer, and inside a service implementation class we discussed about two important annotations, that is @service and @AutoWire annotation. Now in this particular video, we will discuss about an exception handling in Spring Boot application. So we will see that how we can create an exception handler class and how we can use it to handle any exception that is being thrown in our application. So let us start our discussion on exception handling. So here you can see that this is our exception handling package, and inside our package I have created and three different classes. First one, which is a customer exception class, and then we are having and two different classes that is used for exception handling, that is an API error.java class and application exception handler class. So let us first discuss about our customer exception.java class. So this is our exception class with the name customer exception, and this class is extending our exception class. And inside our parameterized constructor, we are assigning the value to our error message. So inside our service IMPL class, you can see that this is our get all customer details method, and here we are getting the details of all the customers. And if this customer list is empty, then in that case we are throwing an exception, that is customer exception, with the message as no customer available. So when this exception will be thrown, then it will call an parameterized constructor of our customer exception. So any message which we are passing to our customer exception will be assigned to our error message field. So this is about our customer exception.java class. Now let us discuss about our next class, that is an API error.java class, and we will use this class in our exception handling. So inside our class we are having three different fields. First one, the name is status, and it is of type HTTP status, and we are using this field to hold the status of our HTTP request. And then we are having a timestamp field which is used to store the timestamp when our exception will be thrown. And then we are having a message field which is of type string, and we will use this field to store the exception message. And here I have defined a default constructor and parameterized constructor of our API error class. So inside our default constructor, I am assigning the value to our timestamp field. So it will store the value of the current timestamp when our exception will be thrown. And then we have defined a parameterized constructor, and inside our parameterized constructor I am passing an HTTP status, and we are assigning this value to our status field. And here you can see that we have used an annotation, that is JSON format, and for our JSON format annotation we are passing an pattern attribute value. So the value for a timestamp field will be stored in this particular format. So this is about our API error.java class. Now let us discuss about our next class, which is a very important class, as this class is used to handle any exception that is being thrown from our application. So the name of our class is application exception handler. And here you can see that we have used an annotation, that is @REST controller advice. So when we are creating an exception handler class for our application, then we have to declare our class with @REST controller advice annotation. And inside our handler class, we have defined an exception handler methods. So when any exception that is being thrown from our application, then JVM will first look for an exception handler class that is being marked with this particular annotation, and then it will search for an exception handler method that can be used to handle the exception which is being thrown from our application. So take an example, in our service IMPL class, we are having an get all customer details method, and suppose our customer list value is null or empty, then in that case an customer exception will be thrown. So at runtime, when this exception will be thrown, then our JVM will look for a class which is being marked with REST controller advice, and then it will look for an exception handler method which can be used to handle the customer exception. So here you can see that this particular method, that is customer exception handler, is marked with @exception handler, and it is being used to handle the exception which is of type customer exception. So when our customer exception will be thrown from our application, then our customer exception handler method will be called. Now let us take one more example. So here in our next method, you can see that this is our get customer method, and here we are fetching the detail of our customer on the basis of customer ID. So in case when the customer detail is not present, then in that case we are throwing an exception which is of type exception. So at runtime it will look for an exception handler class, and it will look for a particular method which can be used to handle that particular exception. So here you can see that our second method, that is an generic exception handler method, and we have marked this method with our exception handler annotation. And here you can see that it is handling an exception which is of type exception.class. So in this particular case, when an exception will be thrown, then our generic exception handler method will be called to handle this particular type of exception. And inside our handler method, you can see that we are creating an object of our API error, and here we are passing an HTTP status as internal server error with error code as 500. So it will call the parameterized constructor of our API error, and then the default constructor will be called, and the timestamp value will be captured, and then whatever status we are passing, that will be stored in our status field. And then in our next statement, you can see that we are assigning the value for our message field. So here we are getting the message field from our exception. So when the customer exception will be thrown, then we are passing the message as no customer available. So this particular message will be assigned to our message field. And then in our next statement, we are returning an object of response entity. And here we are passing an API error object which we have formed and status of our error. So friends, I hope that you are able to understand that how we can handle any exception in our Spring Boot application by using REST controller advice annotation and exception handler annotation. And in our next video, we will discuss about REST controller, and we will also see that how we can handle different type of HTTP request in our Spring Boot application.